Hello team, I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. I wanted to get a video out here before the end of day. My day ends late at night. With that, I know there's a lot of noise out there right now regarding NAR's proposed settlements with these lawsuits and with the DOJ as well. And so I wanted to make sure at least address that and a couple of other things as well. But, we've been practicing for months now, and some of you a lot longer than that on, our presentation, our buyer consultation and presenting the buyer brokerage agreement. That's not new, right? Let's remember that. That is not new. We just never really had to use it. And now it's looking like we better be using it, if not mandatory, which is what it talks about in that proposed settlement. Right. But even then, we're going to need to make sure that we know our value proposition, that we can sit down with a buyer and express deeply what we do through the entire transaction from start to finish, and ultimately be able to present that buyer brokerage agreement to the buyer and let them know that they're possibly going to be paying a commission, minus any credit, of course, any commission paid by the seller. Now, today, we're still doing business the same way, which is there's a co-op offered on the MLS. That is part of that settlement agreement where they would be removing that from the MLS. And then we would have to have another vehicle, which I promise you, NAR, LVR, all the brokers out there are brainstorming this right now to figure out what vehicle it is that we go to the seller with to ask for compensation based on us giving them an offer. So look for that. I promise you there will definitely be some updates on that coming down in the weeks and months ahead, really. With that, right now, today, though, we still are receiving a co-op. So I did want to address one thing here, and that is simply put that, with the co-ops, now here's the agreement with NAR, of course, that you guys hopefully have read. It goes over the key points of compensation being removed from the MLS, right? Written agreements for MLS participants acting for buyers. So that's that buyer brokerage agreement possibly being mandatory. Now, whether that's on a state level, national level, we don't know that yet. And then, of course, the settlement payment NAR is going to be paying, and a few other things in there as well. But the number one thing for us is that the MLS, right, may no longer have a co-op offered in it. Today, we are still the co-op is still there. It may be lower as people start adjusting to these changes coming. You're most likely going to see listing agents, whether they're going to start reducing the compensation based on them it being negotiable, and they're letting their sellers know that, and the sellers are giving them a number to offer, or they're putting zero and possibly waiting for you to come to them and ask for compensation. And so that's what I wanted to cover with you today until this change does take place and there's no co-op offered on the MLS. We have the change in compensation agreement. We need to make sure that we're using this right now. If you're starting to come across low co-ops or even zero co-ops, please make sure you get with your manager, team leader, myself, and know how to present this to the other side to make sure that you can get the co-op that you deserve until that co-op is no longer offered on the MLS. And then, I promise you again, I'd be shocked if, there's not a clear defined vehicle for us to go directly to the seller to ask for our commission if the co-op is removed from the MLS. All right. So you guys, let's stay focused on the task at hand, which is representing our clients, right? Staying busy, getting out there and, finding people to do business with, of course, and providing that value, making sure that we understand the buyer brokerage agreement, of course. And again, listings are the name of the game. If there's not a more important time in real estate that I've been in the 23 years, now would be an important time to make sure that you're focused on at least having a percentage of listing inventory in your business. Okay. The few other things I wanted to cover, and we can definitely go into more of this as we will in the coming days, weeks. We'll be talking a lot more about it and coming up with solutions of how we're going to ensure that, we're going to get a buyer co-op for bringing a ready, willing, able buyer to the table. Lofty, we have been doing training on Lofty tomorrow morning, and you guys, it's on the calendar, but it still says KV Core, I believe. It's for Lofty tomorrow. So if you guys have an opportunity here in Summerlin, we're going to do another Lofty training. Now, I did record the one I did last week, and it's a 2-hour training, and it wasn't perfect. There's some things that we were trying to figure out in the system, which is that's technology, right? So I'm going to post that on our Caldwell group YouTube channel. I'll send out a link. You guys just go to the YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch that video there. Again, it's pretty long, but you can fast forward and move back and forth if you want. The other thing is, welcome back to the team, Barbara. So I meant to get this out a little sooner, as we all have been busy, of course. I'm dealing with all the messaging from NAR and all that. But Barbara Becker's back with us. I'm sure you guys have heard that. And she's actually our entire team marketing representative. So everything you guys need, if you want anything, go directly to Barbara and she'll take care of you. Now, of course, the Rock Title team's working throughout the valley together, but she's our go-to person. Glad to have her back. Glad to have her back in work as well. And I know it was a long, journey for her, getting to where she can get back to work. So we're excited for her as well. With that, folks, please reach out if you need anything, but let's stay focused on getting out in front of people, making sure there's business to be done, and making sure that, again, we're sharpening our tools, our tool belt, every area that we can to ensure that we stay relevant with the changes that are possibly coming ahead. Okay. You guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you in the training, in different classes throughout. Bye-bye.